I have a Welltec 3-way fan switch, E116997, that needs to be replaced. How to wire 3-way fan switch? What are the wiring colors for L, 1, 2 and 3?
1. Is the 3-speed switch an exact replacement switch, or did you purchase a generic 3-speed switch at Home Depot or Lowe's? 2. What are the 4 wire colors for L, 1, 2 and 3? 3. Have you already removed the switch? If so, did you document the wire colors to the original switch terminations?
Unfortunately, I did not take a picture or write down the wiring colors. I replaced another Hunter fan with the Zing Ear ZE-268S6 and everything worked perfectly. I also purchased another of the Zing Ear for the same model Hunter, and I am having trouble getting things straight on that one. That's why I wrote to you guys. I have another Hunter same model and will look at its wiring to see where I am not making a complete circuit. The wire colors on the first Zing Ear that works perfectly are black for L, and the other colors are green, brown and gray. Once I get the colors right with the switch, I will install the Zing Ear and the 2 fans will have new switches and the Welltec will be retired.
1. First lesson to be learned whenever doing electrical work is to either take a picture or document wire colors prior to disassembling, unless you have a photographic memory. 2. Unfortunately, ceiling fans are one of the most difficult electrical items in the home to repair. For whatever reason, the manufacturers never provide a schematic wiring diagram, and replacement parts are often difficult and or just impossible to locate. There are no standards when it comes to the types of switches and or the wire colors that the fan manufacturers use. It's basically a crapshoot as to what they will use. I guess they want us to just purchase a new fan is my guess. Very frustrating for sure. 3. About the only consistent element with the manufacturers is that the black wire should be the L or line side wire connection. You can confirm this using an AC voltmeter and see if it is 120 volts from the black to a ground wire. 4. As far as the other 3 wires for the 1, 2, 3 connections. Your guess is as good as mine, since they never document or show a schematic wiring diagram. It will be a matter of trial and error, if the switch works properly. Green within the National Electrical Code is only used for a ground wire. Not sure why green is part of the fan 3-speed wiring harness? This is a good example of how screwed up the Chinese fan manufacturers are. Their color codes are inconsistent with the National Electrical Code that we observe in the US. 5. Keep in mind that even though the switch may have worked on another fan model, it may not work on this model. As I mentioned before, an exact replacement switch must be purchased, if it can be located. Generic switches typically don't work. Even though a switch may look identical on the exterior, the interior of the switch can have different switching patterns. Fan manufacturers have also been known to install different wiring harness color codes as well as different switches within the same fan model. As I previously mentioned, ceiling fans are the most screwed up when it comes to locating replacement parts and finding any continuity amongst the fans. The older fans manufactured prior to the past 10 or 15 years were of much better quality. Nothing but junk being produced in China in the past decade on ceiling fans. Customer service on most fan manufacturers is also non-existent, since they will just tell you to replace the fan. Most manufacturers won't even sell replacement parts. A very frustrating electrical product in my opinion. 6. Unfortunately, Home Depot and Lowe's only sell maybe 1 or 2 generic 3-speed pull chain fan switches. The majority of the time, these switches will not work correctly on most ceiling fans. The only fan part replacement resource that I'm aware of is ceilingfans.com. You can give them a phone call and see if they can assist. Here is the link to their website, http://ceilingfans.com.
I agree with your comments. We keep every owner's manual for everything we buy, and sure enough, Hunter is silent on any info concerning the interior wiring.
Yes, I agree, very frustrating for sure. I've installed hundreds of fans for customers over the years and I've never come across an internal schematic diagram on any fan brand. Here is an interesting note. Out of all the various types of electrical questions we get here, take a guess at which questions are the most generated in the electrical category? Yes, ceiling fan questions.
Kevin, one last comment. I checked another Hunter fan and it had a Zing Ear 3-way switch. As you mentioned, the black went to L. It also had the gray, brown, and of all things a purple wire. I was able to then see where the wire connections went, and the new 3-way switch in the other fan worked perfectly. The purple wire on the one was a green wire on the other. Something you mentioned. So the day ended well and I thank you for the info. The old Welltec is saved just in case it may be needed. BTW, the Zing Ear 3-ways are easy to find on the internet where I got mine.
Yes, I'm not sure why the manufacturers don't settle on a standard coloring code. Can you provide me with a resource where you purchased the Zing Ear? Glad to hear you got it working. Good job on your behalf.
After Googling the item, I actually found a guy on eBay selling the Zing Ear 3-way fan switch. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I will check it out on eBay. Thanks for getting back to me. I appreciate it. Thanks. Kevin.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.